So the goal here is to not care about negative criticism. So I'm supposed to be going to work in a second, and I just wanted to drop some of these thoughts about the 9 to 5 thing, the grind that we have, and the becoming a creator mindset and doing all the things that creators do apparently, and the split that happens between the creator online personality you and the 9 to 5 you. But this split, actually, it's like a deeper cut. It's a deeper cut. It's like a cut that happens from your childhood. Like when you're a kid, you're in this free zone of just pure raw expression. And when you're an adult, you've been beat down a little bit by society. If you say the wrong thing, then somebody's going to yell at you. Like, it's absurd that I can get yelled at for making a mistake, but also get yelled at for no reason because someone misunderstands or takes out of context the thing that I said and or did at work. And I just have to take it. I have to take it in order to get this paycheck, which is fine. I'm lucky to be in a position where I can take being yelled at to get a paycheck. It's not an everyday occurrence. It happens to the best of us when we're working. But if I were to tell my childhood self, hey, one day you're going to grow up and you're going to go into work and they're going to give you money for a thing that you like to do, but every once in a while, somebody's going to yell at you for something. I don't think I'd be pumped for that. I think I'd just be like, yeah, whatever. Or I don't even know what my childhood self wouldn't even understand what I was saying to myself. I would be like, what are you talking about? Like, it's super absurd. It's super absurd to a child to explain that to them. Hey, you're going to go do a thing that people tell you to do that you don't necessarily want to do, and then they're going to yell at you for it. That's like super absurd. And so I think the future of work is, of course, circumnavigating this, like going around this pothole of 9 to 5dom. It is the online world. It is creating digital products. It's doing all the things that we know we're supposed to do, that you probably know that you're supposed to do, because there's people making money in the most absurd fashions, and not so absurd fashions. But you can think of the worst absurd things, and you can think of selling simple things like Canva templates or whatever types of art, or just very creative things, music even. But there's this like fear that like we'll share the thing and then we won't get the thing. Like, because you probably did, or at some point are about to share your work, but we're still that beaten up person from the 9 to 5 that like our true childlike creative self. That's the one I think that resonates with people, that is allowed to have the most fun, be the most boisterous, be the most silly, be the most creative. And we don't get to do that when we're like in business mode trying to make money from something, or still just beaten up by the system, by the man, by all the things outside of us that we give power to. We literally give them power. Like, there's no meaning behind anything that anyone criticizes you for unless you've put that meaning into it yourself. So, because if you were a child and you were like, if you're talking to a child and you're like, hey, I mentioned this in the last video, but if you were a child and you were talking to someone was telling the child, hey, I think you should study for the medical exam now so that you can have a step ahead, they would just like laugh in your face. It would just be like, it'd be comical to a child, like that you're telling them to do something that they don't want to do. It would just be funny, or worst case scenario, temper tantrum kind of thing. But in general, I think the response is this childlike, no, I'm fine, I'm good. Like, I'm fine, I'm good. And I think we should even embrace that mentality even more, like almost like a rapper mentality. Rappers, they just have this vibe of, yeah, I'm him. Of course, I'm the best rapper, the best person who says words without singing. I'm not saying there's not talent and skill in it, but they're known for their talent and skill, but they're also known because they believe it so hard. They believe it so much that they're him, that they're it. And I need to believe that I'm it, and you need to believe that you're it. So the goal here is to not care about negative criticism. So it's to be him, be her, be the child. And then like, whenever it happens, just be like, yeah, I hear you. I hear that you feel that way, and I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings or whatever. But if there really is something that I can improve, sure, no problem. I'll improve that thing. But wow, if you're saying something just to be mean, that's just silly, right? That's silly. So we just need to apply this theory and this function to being a creator, because now you start making videos, you start making art, products, things. When you put them out, you're going to get some feedback, you're going to get some criticism. Sure, take it as real feedback. If it's from someone who's not doing the thing that you're doing or doing something similar in a similar vein, then you can take that with a grain of salt and just be like, yeah, I'm him, I'm the kid, I'm the whatever. So like, I just need to embrace that a little more. I think you need to embrace your inner child, your inner kid a little more. And then more likely than not, the more you embrace that, the more it will show in your content and people will connect with it more because you're just being genuine. So like when this happens in real life, like it's really hard to just shut it down. Like it's hard to not take it personally, especially if someone's addressing you head on, because I've had this happen a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and then I let it affect me, and then I realize I let it affect me. But there's a delay. There's a delay between letting it affect you and then realizing it. And so I think the goal should just be to shorten that gap. Okay, they said something, I let it affect me, and how long is that gap between letting it affect you and then living your life and just remembering who you really are as the kid, as the him, as the creator, as the artist, as the whoever. And once you remember, oh yeah, I'm this thing anyway, so it doesn't matter what these people say, I'm already him. In case you're curious and you're wondering why or if your content is not resonating, it's probably because you're not coming from that authentic self, or I'm not coming from that authentic self, or that childlike state, or that I'm him state, or that artist state. You have to come from that state when you create the art, when you create the video. Hopefully I'm somewhat in that state now, but I'll be honest with you, I have been wishy-washy going down both lanes of the beat down 9-to-5er versus the artistic, creative, jakey wiggy that you see right here. And I did mention a little bit like the fear. There's like this fear of putting in the work to be successful, or the fear of actually being successful. There is that, and I think that's something also that holds us back. So in order to get over the fear, if you feel like you're stuck or you keep self-sabotaging, the actually very same thing that helped me get unstuck is the same thing that I created. And I actually went through it myself, and then I started making these videos again. So it's 3 days to unstuck, just a series of email prompts and then a couple extra bonuses that I'm throwing in there. And if you want to get 3 days to unstuck, I don't have a creative name for it. So if you have a better idea for the name for 3 days to unstuck, go ahead and do that. But in the meantime, there's a link on my profile somewhere. There's a link to the 3 days to unstuck prompts, and you want to get that, get unstuck in 3 days, start making some stuff again and being yourself again, get a little more childlike, get a little more authentic, and we'll see you in the next one.